Good morning and welcome to another Mocha Money Monday brought to you by the Phenomenal Hughes community and the coaches of P3 Global. I'm so excited to introduce you to a familiar face here at our Mocha Money Monday platform and within our Phenomenal Hughes community, none other than Miss Denise Huginnie. How are you this morning, Miss Denise?
Good morning. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to introduce you to our audience. Just again, Miss Denise is a financial educator, a small business advisor, an economic ecosystem builder, and her company is called Impact Focus. She is also the owner of Impact Coaching and For Purpose Grant Writers. And her topic today is how to build wealth wisely and double your future. So she's going to jump into a PowerPoint presentation and we're going to have some interesting opportunities to talk more about how we get this money to double, right? Because I think anybody and everybody is excited to hear about that because I want to double my money. I know that's right. So
Thank you so much.
without further ado, go ahead and take it away, Miss Denise.
Thank you so much, Ashley. Thank you for having me back. Grow your money wisely and build wealth. And really, the focus is on getting starting early, because each year that you delay, you're losing opportunities. So, we're going to talk about how to pay yourself first and build your future, even double your future wealth. So, as Ashley said, I'm a financial educator, economic ecosystem builder, and as a financial educator, I will point out that this is an educational presentation only. We offer insights to low and moderate income households, but we're not licensed investment advisors. You have to speak with a licensed investment advisor to get specific recommendations for you and your family. So this is an educational presentation. Just have to give that little disclaimer. And as a financial educator, we're trying to deliver a basic foundation of knowledge, get unbiased information out to the public. This is not the type of stuff you see on social media or the meme stocks and things like that. We're outlining the safety considerations, and we're also trying to just unlock the motivation for change. So the thing that I see, whether it's a diet program or a savings program, is you have to really create the awareness of the need for change. And then the desire to participate in the change, the knowledge and ability to change. But then the last item I think is key. It's like reinforcement. You may do well on your diet all day, but then about 6 p.m., 8 p.m., those chips and the cookies are calling you. So how do you sustain the change? Same thing with being smart with your money. And we're going to recommend that you sustain the change by getting with a financial coach and also by just automating some of your investments. But this reinforcement, that's the key. We'll walk through the awareness, desire, knowledge, and ability, but reinforcement is really the key. So let's talk, first of all, about why to start investing early and why that can actually double the money that you're going to have at the end of your work career. So in this example, if you start at age 25 versus 35 and you're saving $20 a day, investing $20 a day at 6%, you're at 1.2 million versus 600K. Now, if you start at 35 versus 45, you've just you've doubled the opportunity again. So even with a modest return, the opportunity is doubled by starting earlier. Now, the long-term average of stock market is about 10%, but we're just giving you a modest return, a balanced portfolio, 6%. Wouldn't you rather have the 600,000 versus the 300, or the 1.2 versus the 600,000? So it's double by starting early. And so we're really emphasizing young people to get started. And then if you're a little older like me, just keep it going, keep it going. So there are 5 key focus areas that really every household has to look at. What are you earning? What are you spending? What are you saving? But then invest and protect is where a lot of us fall down. We just live day to day. hand to mouth, hand to pocket, but we don't think about the long term. Investing is for the long term, and protection, say with insurance, is for the long term. So, where can I get some of these resources? How do I get started? Some of us might go to the credit union or the bank. There are free financial coaches that we're going to talk about. There are paid financial coaches. There are financial advisors that can be commission based or fee based, or your own insurance agent, a New York Life, a State Farm, is going to have some investment products, but they're also going to have that important set of protections. So we all know places to get started, but we tend to put it off till tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you why you need to start today. The quickest way to get started is to understand your needs versus your wants. Your needs are like the car payment, the house payment, the utility bill. That shouldn't be more than 50% of your income. So if you're taking home $6,000 a month, you shouldn't be spending more than $3,000 a month on those needs. The wants, that's your Starbucks, that's your new purses, it's your trips, it's your vacation. Okay, that should be 30%. And then 20% should be debt reduction or investments or savings. That is a basic formula that all financial coaches use. And see if you can get your family into that kind of category where you live below your means, you keep the needs modest, and you are saving or reducing debt 20% of your income. Now, that sounds tough, but to be honest, we'll go through some of these tips for how to do that. I like to think in terms of families. Many of us have children or grandchildren around us, and we're always telling them how to build their careers or how to drive a car, and we're giving them a lot of life's lessons. The life lessons that we don't give really are around money. I grew up in a very well-educated household, but nobody ever said anything about investing. We were taught to save your money for hard times, but it was saving, not investing. And so we're going to talk about the difference between saving and investing in a little bit. Many of us are in trouble financially, some kind of financial trauma. And so I think you need to level set. As they say, take off the mask. Are you ready to get realistic about investing for your future? Are you under a lot of stress financially right now? Maybe you lost a job or you lost a part-time job. Are you interested in learning more now, or you just really don't want to think about it because it's just too stressful right now? I think everybody's got to be in the right mood. Many times families are in a survival mode. So here's a key point. I did not learn this until late in life. Nobody talked to me when I was young about investing. They talked about saving, and saving meant putting your money in the bank or the credit union or storing it in your mattress or in a piggy bank. The difference between saving and investing is this. So in this example, if you're able to save $500 a month, for example, at 0.5% over 25 years, that principal amount is 150,000 and you earn almost 10,000 in interest. But if you invest at 10%, which is the average return of the stock market, then you actually earn $500,000 in interest. So that's the thing that I think we miss out on. Blacks are not typically invested in the stock market. We're invested in the stock market much less than other households. And so the difference between investing versus saving, that's a big, big difference. And over a long period of time, you see the dramatic difference. So again, many of us are under a lot of stress. You might say, well, I don't have any money to invest. I don't want to talk about it right now. Well, there's a lot of things you can do that don't cost anything, that doesn't affect your daily living standards. You can make sure that you have a will, advance directives for your children. This is important paperwork as grown-ups that we have to think about. And then if you're taking care of elderly parents, they need to have all these things in place as well. So sometimes a financial advisor or a counselor will start with some of these documents so that your family is protected. Is investing right for me right now? Every situation is different. Many of us need to reduce debt. If you have high interest debt, 30% credit cards, that's more important than investing at 6% or 10% when you're paying 30%, you need to reduce debt. Or you need to create that emergency reserve. How do you change your own financial behavior? Well, I would say don't wait for a catastrophic event. Sometimes we get into real trouble, close to bankruptcy, or you lose a job, and then suddenly you decide to cut back on some of your spending. One way to make changes is to make small changes every month. So in my family, if somebody wants to get a new subscription, let's say for cable TV, then we have to get rid of one of the old ones. So I'm not just going to keep adding on $20 a month every time somebody wants something. You got to cut some things out. Also, learning to cook. The, sandwiches that you could have delivered DoorDash for $20, you can make for $2. Same thing with spaghetti and, eating out, things like that. Even if you just cut back $5 a day on some of your spending, your precious Starbucks might be costing you $150 a month, which you could invest. So those are small changes. And the goal really here is to learn to pay yourself first. We talked about online shopping. Yes, during COVID, I'm guilty. Did a lot of online shopping. Well, one of the ways that we've cut back in our household is to try to do most of the online shopping on one day of the week. So get the Instacart, get the Amazon. So you're not shopping 7 days a week. You take one day a week. And even on Amazon, you put things in the cart, you put things kind of in a savings, move it into like a savings area where you just look at it. And over time, you have less desire for it. So cut down on the online shopping. And then sometimes you send somebody a $25 gift card instead of sending them a bathrobe or something that they don't really need. Give them an experience. You make them a gift card. So fewer gifts that people don't need anyway, less spending at the holidays. Having family do something that's maybe not around an exorbitant, extravagant dinner, but maybe it's dessert and coffee, or it's going to the park and playing football. Those are things that people enjoy, and it doesn't cost a lot of money. So we're going to talk a little later about automating your savings and investing plan, because that's the real thing that gets you ahead. Do you need a financial coach? Well, a financial coach is someone who will help you get out of debt, help you organize your finances, help you save money, and kind of make a general financial plan. They don't tend to get involved in investing. They tend to work on basic finance, but this is a good place to start. And oftentimes your bank or credit union will have a financial coach. And I'll also show you a company called Thrive where you can get a free financial coach online. Should you work with a financial advisor, what's known as a fiduciary, or a brokerage? Some people feel it's better to work with a fiduciary, but the fiduciary tends to work with people who have $500,000 in liquid assets and above. So most of us are working with brokers. And so the brokers are still doing a good job, but they don't have a fiduciary obligation. So when you're working with a financial advisor, what do you get out of it? What you get out of it is accountability. So you might have a spouse that is a spender and you're a saver, and you're bickering about money all the time. Once you get a plan and you meet with your advisor twice a year, that tends to level set everybody, get you on the same page. Also, I'm not a person that understands taxes a lot. There's a lot of tax benefits that are available to you, healthcare savings accounts, things like that. You can get advice on your taxes. And then finally, if you want to use the R word, retirement, I just call it double your future. You can look at long-term care. You can look at insurance. You can look at an estate plan. There's a lot of complex planning that can be done if you work with a professional. And you can maximize the money that you have by working with a professional. According to Charles Schwab, people that work with a professional do end up with double the assets, partly because they're on a plan and partly because they're earning more. So that's this quote right here, that yes, you double your wealth when you work with a financial advisor. 71% of the households in the US know that they need a financial advisor, but only 29% are actually working with a financial advisor. So part of what I'm promoting is, just like you go to the dentist twice a year, go to your financial advisor twice a year and just stay on track. That's your accountability coach. So for you and your family, what is best? Sometimes that first step is a financial coach, or you may have someone in the family who's an insurance agent. You may just say, well, I know how to do stocks online, or got an app. I can just get started on my own, DIY. If you're looking for a financial advisor, this is a place you can go to find one. It's kind of a matching service for a certified financial planner. You can go to letsmakeaplan.org. Here's another service. It's lower price. It's called fruitful.com, and it has very low cost financial advisors, but they're still dedicated CFPs. And then we all know some of the big names in finance. Primerica works with a lot of low wealth people, and by low wealth, I mean kind of our working families, the households that make $150,000 or less. And so I try to find those providers that will work with the average person. Many of us start with Fidelity or Schwab. If you like mobile apps, there's Wealthfront, there's Betterment. They're not going to look at a whole financial plan, but they will give you an investing portfolio. I did recently try Wealthfront because I like to just check things out. I got myself one of these 5%. I'll call it my emergency savings account. I wanted to start an emergency fund, and I'm earning 5%. But you can also invest through some of these apps. I would just give you the counsel to not be a stock picker. Try to get a balanced portfolio or ETFs. And these apps will put you in a balanced portfolio. Now, here's a company that I actually directed my son to. He just turned 18. His custodial accounts were moved over to Thrivent. And if you want free financial coaching, you can look up Thrivent and Money Canvas, and you can book a session with a financial coach, and it's totally free. So Thrivent kind of grew out of the Lutheran Church, and they're very focused on giving back to the community. They'll even work with people that are saving $5 a week. They're not focused on large portfolios. Another group you can go to if you're deep in debt and you need financial coaching. These people do financial coaching, but it's mainly around debt management plans and getting you out of debt. So you can go to greenpath.com. It's totally free, and they will give you, it's a nonprofit. They will get you out of debt, and they will renegotiate your debts. So oftentimes this is a place people have to start. They also have a lot of free online education. You can educate yourself. There's lots of great books out there. These are some popular books. One of the classics, of course, is The Millionaire Next Door, which means you don't need to show your wealth. The millionaire next door is driving an old station wagon and an old pickup truck. They don't show their wealth. They're investing. They're not putting their assets into depreciating, putting their money into depreciating assets. One of the groups that we really need to reach, and I want to reach out to phenomenal youths. Lots of studies say that the average Black female in the United States has a net worth of 0. And that's very sad. Part of that is, we're raising kids. Maybe we don't have people helping us raise our kids. We're taking care of parents and other relatives. And that's why our net worth is so low. So we've got to really kind of get it together, girls. Start taking care of business first. Pay yourself first. I'm involved in a lot of initiatives, and one of them is called Generation Boost, really to get the younger people, kind of 18 to 35, focused on thinking long term. We think short term, we think now, we think party, going out, having fun, but it's time to get people thinking long term about building wealth, accumulating wealth, and then leaving a legacy. So the goal is not to just survive, but to thrive, and to teach your children good money habits as well. So I want to thank all of you for having me here today. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm hoping to be back on Mocha Monday sometime soon.
Thank you so much, Miss Denise. You always give such great insights. One of the things I was going to ask was around some of these apps. I use Cash App. Do you feel like that's a good place to get started when you feel like you don't really know what you're doing or how to do it or having a broker?
Yes, I've
Okay.
used Cash App, and my son was buying stocks through Cash App, and we were in an investing club. But again, we were probably picking stocks. And so long term, you want to be in more of a portfolio. But I do believe that that's a good way to get started and to educate young people.
Yep. And my husband uses Acorn. So is that
Okay.
those are some good ways I think for people to dip
Mm-hmm,
their little feet in and get some knowledge.
mm-hmm,
And then these apps
mm-hmm,
that you just introduced, I wasn't familiar with them. So I'm
mm-hmm.
going to go check out Thrive It today.
Acorn is good. Acorn is
Okay.
good. Yeah.
So I just want to encourage you all take the information that Miss Denise gave out today and get started. Start where you are, start small, and then you will be able to see these big changes.
Well, I want to thank you, ladies at Phenomenal Hues, for your time. And it's always such a pleasure to be here and just to be part of the tribe.
Well, thank you so much again. And thank you, listeners, for tuning into another Mocha Money Monday. Please visit phenomenalhues.com to get connected to Miss Denise and to other coaches that can help you on your journey to becoming a bankable CEO. Thank you all and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye bye.